What is up, guys? It is Strider coming at you with another piece of Pokemon content. This one is going to be kind of a supplementary video to our main series of lessons. This is going to just talk about how the draft works. I know this is kind of a more focused video. Obviously, it doesn't apply to you if you're not using the system we are using. But of course, if you are in our league, you know who you are. Or if you are in a league that happens to implement this system or close to it, this should actually still be able to help you out. So mainly after talking with some players in my draft, I realized that some of them don't even really understand how the draft is going to work. And that's fair. That's not something I've ever explained, so I can't really expect them to know right off the bat how it's going to work. I mean, I gave them some documentation, but I mean, come on, who reads? And how can I expect people to prepare if for the draft if they don't even understand the system? So it's just kind of this video needs to be out there. Hopefully it's going to be short enough that you can just kind of sit down for 15 minutes and get a pretty decent understanding of the way the draft works. So first off, you have 11 slots on your team. They all must be filled. You cannot have empty spots. The basic kind of premise of the system is a point-buy system. This means that the total cost of your team must be equal or less than 1,000 points. Each Pokemon is assigned a tier from 1 through 5. We've seen that here. You can see that in this document here. Actually, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it maybe a little bit better. So you see here tier 1, 180 points, tier 2, 120 points. You can kind of see next in the parentheses there, you'll see the point values associated with those tiers. So again, from 1 through 5. In general, tier 1 are going to be your strongest Pokemon, and tier 5 are going to be your weakest. And then obviously there's just kind of a gradual, decline from tier 1 to 5. You can draft your team in any order. You can draft your tier 5 Pokemon first. You can draft your tier 1 Pokemon first. You can draft your Mega first. You're not restrained at all in that way, in the order in which you pick your Pokemon. 6 of your 11 slots are fixed point costs. We are going to go ahead and switch over to another sheet here. I know we haven't done this before, but if you look on the bottom here, there are other tabs. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the roster sheet template, and I'm going to zoom in maybe one more time here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Please ignore the transaction list on the bottom. Anyway, so 6 of your 11 slots, like I said, are fixed point costs. You must have, and that's what this roster sheet kind of goes over here. So you must have 1 tier 1 Pokemon costing 180 points, 1 tier 2 Pokemon costing 120 points, 2 tier 3 Pokemon costing 100 points each, so that's a total of 200 points, 1 tier 4 Pokemon of 60 points, and 1 tier 5 Pokemon of 40 points. These 6 slots, again, they're fixed. You have to have these, and they make up a total of 600 of your 1,000 points. This means with your Mega and your 4 flex spots, those must total to 400. You must have exactly 1 Mega Pokemon. You see here we have the slot here. You must have 1 Mega Pokemon, no more, no less. It has to be exactly 1. Megas, like regular Pokemon, are also broken down into tiers. We're going to jump back over to the tier list real quick. Yeah, so like I said, Megas are broken out into tiers as well. How do I say this? They work a little differently than the regular Pokemon in terms of point cost, though. So you see here, again, just like we talked about, in the just a couple minutes ago, you have the tier 1 through 5, and they have the higher cost to the lower cost. Megas work a little different here. Let's scroll over. I think. Oh no, we can already see all the Megas. Okay, so instead of costing points like these other slots on your team will, they are actually going to, they give you extra points, or they cost negative points if you take a Mega of a lower tier. So just to look here, you see tier 1 Megas are 0 points. If you take a tier 2 Mega, that is negative 20 points. Tier 3, negative 40, 4 from negative 60, 5 from negative 80. let's jump back over to that roster sheet template here. I know this might sound maybe a little bit complicated, so I think just seeing an example would be a help here. So again, like I said, your mega plus your 4 flex spots must be 400 points or less. So let's see. So let's say you drafted a tier 1 mega. An example of a tier 1 mega is, I'm just going to take the top one, Alakazam. You draft Mega Alakazam. Oops, I'm sorry, I put that in the wrong slot. There we go. That would mean he costs 0 points. So that means you have 400 total points here for the rest of your your flex slots. And again, these can be any tier Pokemon you'd like, as long as the total does not break. The total of these plus your mega does not equal over 400. But let's say you took, and I will be passing out a sheet very similar to this at the draft, so you can kind of have it all. Oops, I'm sorry, I went over to draft rules for no reason. So you can kind of have this all here, and you can calculate it there on the draft, or on draft day itself. Again, you'll get this. You'll get a physical copy of this style sheet. But let's jump back over to the tier list here, and let's say you took a tier 3. Let's say you took, I don't know, you took Blastoise. And we'll just put Blastoise here. And he actually is a tier 3. So like we had talked about in the scaling negatives here, Blastoise, since he's a tier 3, you actually get 40 points back, or you get an extra 40, right? So he costs negative 40, which means, so these 4 slots right here must cost less than or equal to 440 points, because 440 plus negative 40 equals 400, right? So that kind of explains this flex slots plus mega slot less than or equal to 400. I hope that really clears some things up. If not, please let me know. I will do another video. I will just talk to you in person. Again, if you're from outside our league, I know this video is much more focused. It's not really as broad or as applicable to some of the other leagues that you might be in. But I hope, there is still a possibility you're using something like this or a similar layout. Again, thanks for watching. I really hope this clears things up. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments, or if you're in my league, you probably have my number. Just text me. Thanks again, guys. This is a short one. I wanted it to be short, easy to understand, easy to process. If you need more examples, if you need anything, again, please let me know. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.